What's up, folks? This is Acid Roots, and we're going to talk about Marilyn Manson after a good while of not doing so. So I did review Heaven Upside Down, his most recent album, a couple years ago, but it's been a while, and I know that there's still some releases that I haven't talked about, and this one's kind of a surprise project that, doesn't come up. I mean, it should come up in normal conversations, but, when you think of Antichrist Superstar, Hollywood, maybe Portrait of an American Family, and like Mechanical Animals, this is one that I do feel like needs to be more than just a secondary thought or something. It's not that good. I'm going to give this a low score, but the songs that are good rank with some of his best songs, period. And I think that's kind of like the main thing. So basically, this EP came about throughout 1995 when they were touring for Portrait of an American Family, their debut. I'm not sure if Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails executive produced this. Yeah, it says he did in Wikipedia. So Trent Reznor actually produced 3 of Manson's first 3 projects. So, which is good because this is where a lot of his hype and his acclaim comes from, is these 3. But to talk about this, really, it was kind of seen as like a promotional project for his tours, and kind of wound up being a physical release and an official release later on. But it's actually a rare item that kind of goes for some money. But so it's kind of something from Marilyn Manson and the band's Twisted Amusement, and I kind of like the theme of how it goes. It kind of comes off as something like Rocky Horror Picture Show with kind of like a carnival theme, and then just an overall gothic and kind of sludgy kind of, almost mentality. So that's all good. The theme and the presentation and that sort of stuff, as far as the aesthetic, it definitely is top notch. That's definitely not the complaint here. But the main thing is talking about the way that they remix some of these songs. I think that they were intended to kind of be like a more violent version of some of these, like Dope Hat, Organ Grinder, and Cake and Sodomy were some of the ones that got remixed. But I don't know, I found myself preferring the ones that were off of Portrait of an American Family. They didn't quite nail it, and a lot of them, the way that they handled the songs, I mean, they were a lot more sprawling, darker, and it seemed like the energy was there for them, but somehow it felt, I want to use like a better word than messy, but the cohesion just did not feel there. I mean, that was kind of the thing. You listen to some of those songs, I was expecting something that would have probably been just like a rework guitar-wise, or something like a different execution of the instrumentation, maybe a second angle for how they could have played the songs, and maybe like a new lyric here and there, but they didn't really do that. I mean, obviously for 1995, they were just trying to give something, give folks something to hold them over until the next album came out, and it works to that purpose. But I guess they, whether they ran out of time or, they didn't quite think it through. I mean, it's good enough to the point where, hardcore fans are not going to complain much, but a lot of these songs, the original songs, are better, which there's a lot of remixes. So, but luckily there's 3 cover songs. That's the main attraction, in my opinion, about this project. Manson has been able to do cover songs for a while, and this was like the first album that proved that.
Trump is concerned, not necessarily for health reasons.
I'm just kind of checking in with Jimmy Kimmel. I'm gonna see what Cyan's up to. And it said that Sweet Dreams was basically something he fantasized about after having an LSD trip at some house party. And that's pretty good to sit there and come up with a song that's going to be one of your biggest songs to date just because of a mishap of a drug trip, or maybe it wasn't a mishap. But yeah, I mean, that's where this came from, to sit there and think of like the Sweet Dreams song and make it like the most kind of diseased kind of version of that song you could think of. So it's a smash hit. It is the best song on this project, Sweet Dreams. It's the single. I don't know how high it charted, but this is something that on my radio station still gets plays today. So I think it definitely stands up 25 years later as far as like being a hit Manson. Because as far as like Missouri radio, the songs I hear normally from Marilyn Manson would be The Beautiful People, The Dope Show, Sweet Dreams, and I think that's about it. I mean, mostly if you hear this song by Marilyn Manson, that's your Marilyn Manson fix, is Sweet Dreams. So maybe like one other song. I don't ever hear Tourniquet or songs like that. So, but yeah, it's definitely a smash. But the main problem with this project to me was just the fact that they did not have a follow-up single. But, you know, obviously this was just a stopgap between their 94 album and then Antichrist Superstar, which came out in 1996. But then Sweet Dreams was kind of charting around that time, so they really had to drop promotion for this project and just focus on, you know, Antichrist Superstar. So I'm glad that they did that, but if they would have had more time, I probably would have gone with the I Put a Spell on You song, because that, Manson said, you know, you look on Wikipedia, he said that he felt like it was too dark and esoteric for even their most hardcore fans to withstand the song as far as hearing it on the radio. And that's maybe that may not be so much true. It might have been true back in 1996, but definitely now most people would have said, fuck it, you should do that. That's kind of where I come from. I mean, really, I feel like the whole smash to this album is just Sweet Dreams, but with another one, it probably would have raised the value of it. I mean, it's still a good song, but it's not one that you'll probably ever hear on the radio, as I Put a Spell on You. And as far as Spotify, that's the song that has gotten the second most plays on here. So that's kind of the thing. I felt like it's kind of like a would-be second single, and just in spirit, it probably would be, but it was to no avail. So that's the second best song, I Put a Spell on You. I still listen to that. I do have it on my MP3 player. I enjoy the song, and yeah, I mean, to think of as to how that song actually works, I mean, it's basically Sweet Dreams, but slower than that. I mean, really, Sweet Dreams is kept in like radio format. It has, it's a sprawling song, but it's enough to be able to kind of get enveloped in the song and then move on when you're ready to listen to the next song on the radio or wherever. But this one is, it has, even though Sweet Dreams is the longer song, I Put a Spell on You just feels like the longer song, is because the tempo is not quick, and that's the thing about it. It really has, like, that's another kind of disfigured song, and I'm glad that these kind of came out. So yeah, the tempo to it really kind of makes your head clouded, and I think you'll like that. But then the third cover song, Rock and Roll Nigger, that one kind of, I mean, it's rock, and it's particularly quick rock. It has a different pace towards the song, and I did like the idea behind it, but somehow, I don't know, I mean, it didn't really fit the whole theme of the project. The first two cover songs fit right in with the rest of the album, even if it wasn't that good. But this one just kind of felt like a hodgepodge, like, you know, quick rock song just to kind of get things going. It did not fit the aesthetic of the project. So, but you know, that's kind of the thing. I've tried listening to the song. I do own that song, and you know, I try listening to it every now and then. But it's probably the song I listen to the least out of the songs that I have from that project. So the two that I listen to the most would be Sweet Dreams and I Put a Spell on You. So, but it's quick paced. I mean, really, it's not horrible Marilyn Manson. It just isn't up to snuff with the best songs especially the best cover songs that he can do. I think you'll notice the difference. So I'm gonna give this album basically like a 3 out of 10, just because I like Sweet Dreams so much. I mean, to me, that's one of Marilyn Manson's best songs, even now, 25, 30, how many years later it will be. And then I Put a Spell on You is definitely like the what if scenario, as far as like, well, what would have happened if this would have kept going, the steam for Smells Like Children would have kept going, and we would have continued to see promotion. Maybe it delays Antichrist Superstar, that whole shebang, and we would have stuck with this project later. That's good what would have scenario, just a fascinating song in general. Um, Real dark, that sort of stuff, just a cursed kind of song, but there's really not much backing up this project beyond that, and that's just kind of the thing. I mean, 2 good songs out of 16. I mean, there's a lot of skits. Maybe one day I'll review the skits off of this project. If you're wondering why out of 16 it seems like I'm talking about so little, it's because there's a lot of skits on here just to kind of go with the kind of dark and, disgusting kind of theme of this project. So I am going to want to do that, but, there's really only like 7, 8, some songs like that. It's basically an EP's worth, and doesn't quite have the hits on there. I mean, like I was saying, the original songs are better than the remixes. They don't add too much, and, just get Portrait of American Family. I would almost consider just to buy these songs digitally and then just say screw the rest of the project, but you can't quite do that either. You need to own this project if you like Manson. So that's kind of the theme there. I would have to say, Smells Like or Sweet Dreams is such a good song that you can buy it just for that without really much buyer's remorse. But I would say that you do get a surprise extra song in there with Put a Spell on You. And then if you like Rock and Roll Nigger, I mean, that's another one that's kind of an extra bonus. And if I had to say like a distant 4th song, if there would be any, it'd probably be Diary of a Dope Fiend. So that's, almost basically 2 solid songs, maybe a couple others depending upon who you are. But 3 out of 10. I give it a 6.5 social, just because the size of Sweet Dreams, but didn't have any other singles because of Antichrist Superstar. And the social score means how well it goes around your friends or your social circles and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Sweet Dreams is such a recognizable song, but that's just the thing. So, but yeah, this is great Manson, but it just was kind of short on a lot of the things that it probably needed.